Hey guys, welcome back. This week we are inching closer and closer to the first start of the Subaru. We're going to focus on changing all the oils for the engine, transmission, rear diff. We're going to see if we could try to flush out the old gas that we have in the car, and so that way we can replace it with some new fuel, get that much closer to finally starting this car up. So let's take a look at the parts and the oils that we have for the car today, and we'll walk you through everything we're going to use. All right, so on the left we got 2 stacks of Motul break-in oil. It's 10W40. Should give us 4 different oil changes to get that engine broken in, and then we'll switch over to their Motul 300V race oil, so long as I can still get that, because I know my supplier has been kind of out for a while. For the gear oil, we've got 5 quarts of the Motul 75W90. We'll be using this for the transmission and the rear diff. I did get a new set of crush washers. These 3 are for the transmission, and then I've got 2 for the rear diff for the drain. We did do the STI swap, so we are going to be trying to swap out the sensor for a fresh drain plug. Not sure if it's the same thread pitch, but we're going to figure that out, and if I can, get that swapped out. We do have our T70 Torx bit for the transmission to drain the oil that is in there to replace it with the Motul. And then the Vibrant, we've got a 16-inch NPT to 1/4 inch hose. This goes to our fuel pressure regulator, gives us a little bit bigger hose diameter to mate up with the WRX intake manifold. So just kind of make that a little bit cleaner so I don't have to use any adapters. We'll put that in there and get that hose ran as well. I do have some spacers for the front mount. I did 3D print some plastic ones just to get an idea of what size I needed, and I've got the correct size, so we'll get those replaced in aluminum. And then we've got some new bolts and spacers for our catch can, so we can space that out a little bit further from the hood. No interference issues right now, but just want to give myself a little bit more room, just so if I have any flexing of the hood at high speeds or whatnot, we just make sure that we don't have any contact. We did go with the Perrin Coolant Overflow, so we did have to relocate ours because on the driver's side we kind of ran our front mount intercooler piping basically where the factory tank goes. So we're going to move this over to the driver's or to the passenger side rather than the driver's side. Get this plumbed up, and then hopefully we can get some coolant in there. I don't have any Subaru coolant, so I got to run to the dealership, pick some up, but we'll grab that. I did pick up some Mishimoto tools. They're very inexpensive, so I thought, why not? We got the oil fill funnel, so this basically screws onto the oil neck and then just gives you a lot larger area to put some oil in there. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then we've got their no spill coolant setup funnel kit. So I just put this on the radiator. Since we did get rid of the expansion tank, we're gonna make sure we burp this up, the coolant, exactly as we need to. So we'll use this to get hopefully all the air out, and we'll go from there. And in the back, this is what we're going to be using to inject the oil into the transmission and rear diff. Basically just pour it all into here. We'll clean out these lines. I think this might be coolant from last time. So we'll flush this all out, clean it up, and then we'll use that to get all the oil pushed into the rear diff and the transmission. All right, so the engine oil is very easy. You literally just unscrew the cover, put the funnel on. Then you start pouring the oil in. That's about full. We're good there. That's only 5 liters, so I'm sure once we spin everything and get all the oil flushed into everything, we'll need to top it off, but that should be good for now. All right, so for the gear oil, all we really do is just pour it in here, and then we can siphon and push it all through as we need. Now we're ready to go underneath the car, drain everything, and replace it with a new. All right, so before we get started, make sure you do have a drain pan. And then we are gonna kick this one free. All right. Looks like fresh oil. For the other ones, you are going to need a 10 millimeter Allen. So I've got that here. Actually, you should probably always start with the fill on the top, because if you can't break that free and you drain everything out, you're kind of screwed. So start at the top. All right, so that's broken free. Now the bottom one. Yeah, it looks like fresh oil, but we're gonna flush it anyways because we didn't know. I'm gonna step out real quick and swap over these O-rings or these crush washers, and we'll be right back. All right, so we should be good. Go ahead and replace the big one first. So wipe this off. This is torqued to 70 Newton meters. So we'll get that torqued. All right. And then the other drain is torqued to 50 Newton meters. If you don't know which one goes where, the two black crush washers go on the bottom and the bronze one goes on the top. All right, and now we fill the top one until it starts to leak out a little bit. For my tool, I just put the little hose in there. Like so, and we pump until it comes out. This also gets torqued down to 50 Newton meters. Good to go. Let's go ahead and move on to the rear now. All right, so same thing. We're gonna break the sensor port free first, and then the drain port, make sure we're good. The sensor port is a 24 millimeter. So we're good there. Go ahead and pull that out. And the bottom one is a 17 millimeter. And that looks fresh also, but we'll change it anyways. Now the gasket or crush ring did not come out. There we go. I don't think it came off the sensor either, so. Nope. Need a screwdriver for that one. Oh, got it. All right, that should be good. Go ahead and wipe this off. Good. This one is torqued to 60 Newton meters. Okay. And we'll fill from the top, just like last time. So we'll let that run and we'll come back when it starts to drip. We are barely just dripping, and quite honestly, that was the last bit of ounce. I had to pour each bottle out and we just were able to top it off. All right, we'll get the last bolt back in there, torque it up. And it is the same thread pitch, so we're able to use both of them. Okay, get it pretty clean. And that's it for the oils. We're all set. Just gotta mount up the coolant overflow and then fill it with coolant, and that's pretty much it for fluids. All right, so there are two holes on the frame rails that I just drilled out. I think it's like 2 or 3 sizes larger, so I can put a thread sert in there, and then I'm gonna create my own bracket for that parent coolant reservoir. So let's go ahead and put those nut certs in there, and then we'll go from there. So got my Astro tool here with the nut cert on there. I did remove the passenger side radiator fan so I can get my drill in there and drill those holes, but the radiator can stay. So we'll get the second one put in there, and then we can put the fan back in, and we should be good. Should be something like that. And can I even space it out a little bit this way? So got the engine pretty much wrapped up. I've got the fuel pressure regulator hose ran. That is not 100% secure because I still have to take that off and adjust base fuel pressure. I do have the alternator, or not the alternator, the AC compressor unplugged. We still got to configure that to turn on appropriately. Got the alternator plugged in, all the sensors plugged in and ran. This is kind of the mock-up of the coolant overflow that I've got. A little bit more on that later when I get a mount. Basically get this mounted where I want it. We'll get that all plumbed up. We'll have the line run over here into this. Since we don't have the factory expansion tank, We've got everything plumbed up to the catch can for coolant wise from the back of the head and from the front. This is just going to be our overflow for when it needs to adjust the level due to heat, basically. You know you're getting close when you're filling up the fuel. That's what I've got for this week. Got the fuel system all wrapped up. We got everything primed, set our fuel pressure, installed our new leash product. For the relay module, got rid of the iWire dual kit. So now we're just going to move on to the ECU, still get everything talking to each other, hopefully get a base map loaded up, and we should be good to go next time.